boils down to this, the sexualization of women, the idea that even when a woman becomes a CEO of a company, but that she still secretly somehow wants to be dominated by a man. And it's like, why would you kind of spread that perception that this is some secret kind of hankering that especially kind of powerful women have? So I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that.
I didn't get that from that film. I got it that you can exist in two different ways. Someone is not just dominant or submissive. I don't like terminology, but they switch and they change, Often, like if you look at dominatrix's work, they get a lot of high power CEO, different people going to see them because they spend the whole day telling people what to do, similar to Nicole's character. And then at the end of the day, like, I actually don't want to do this. I don't want to tell people what to do. And I have to go home and then I'm expected to be the guy who knows everything and puts money on the table, and they just want someone to tell them what to do. That's
I agree.
an angle.
No, I totally agree. I think that's absolutely correct. My issue is more, why would you pick on that particular thing and kind of frame, popular perceptions of women in that way? Because I think that's true. What you just said right there is true. That people have these, they can, not double lives, but people have different aspects of their personality, right? But now that we are seeing women in positions of power, I think to make that kind of a movie is kind of politically charged, because it implies to a lot of people that even when women gain those positions of power, they still at some level want to kind of submit to a man. And whilst that might be true in some cases, of course it's going to be true in some cases, it's like, to popularize that view, I think that's kind of questionable.
Okay, interesting. We're going to agree to disagree. I think it's more about things being a bit more complicated and two things can be true at the same time. People aren't monolithic.
Let's flip it. When have you seen a movie about a very powerful man who was a CEO and everybody respected him, and secretly he needed to be, kind of submitting to this much more junior kind of female? I don't remember ever having seen that kind of a plot line.
Hear me out on this, but 50 Shades of Grey, because at the end of the day, yes, he's the one doing all the whipping and all that kind of stuff, but he needs to do that. So I guess that's a form of like, not desperation, but like need for that thing, and he's obsessed and besotted by this girl. And I often think, like, when you do have these very high power position men who maybe, I don't know, are attracted to someone who is just in a more, not to use a crude term, but subordinate role, it's because they lust after them and they want something from them. And I think that's a form of power, I suppose, but then also it can be manipulation on the person in charge's part, because they have all the power to like end their job and do that thing. But if we're looking at love